Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monroe Mann, joined today by Emily Appel again. We are from Break Diving and here to inspire you to go after your dreams and don't let anything get in the way of your pursuit of said dreams. One of the dreams I want to talk to you all about and talk to Emily about is the fact that we're only about 740 watch hours away from monetizing this YouTube channel. And we ran into that little snafu recently that live watch time apparently no longer counts towards getting monetized. And so all of the watch time, we have to get this additional 740 hours by people watching our videos that are already pre-recorded. I did some research and apparently I think they did this because I don't know, maybe people were getting monetized too quickly or people were, I don't know, they put in this, they changed it. And so we need to figure out how we're going to get those 740 additional watch hours in the next probably 2 to 3 months. I think it was in November of 2024 that I started amassing the watch time. And so I'm trying to think of different videos that we could do that might, and it can't be shorts. Shorts don't count as watch time. And I was thinking that maybe now is the time to start making like deep dive videos of like 10 to 15 minutes each, horizontal, and each one is is just talking about a particular dive that somebody in the community might be interested in. So deep dive into how to become an actor, deep dive in how to become a web developer, deep dive into how to, and maybe that just that title, how to become a web developer, how to become an actor, maybe that would encourage other people to find the videos and watch them. That's one idea. The other idea was doing interviews with other break divers. And so in addition to just having you, I was thinking having other community members, especially members that people in the community actually know, because then they might be encouraged to, oh, I want to go watch that interview with Gay. I want to watch that interview with whomever. So anyway, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think that that's a great idea, especially for people who are like just pursuing the dive, and then people who maybe have just started. It would be a great thing to see, like, in terms of experience, how they got to where they are and how they can keep growing. So I think that's an awesome idea.
So if you can think of any additional ideas that we can do as long form videos that people might be interested in, that would be great. Can you see the chat this time?
Hi, I think. Hi, B Dubs 14.
Said, where is that? I don't know what that means. I'm in my apartment, and I think Emily is in hers, and that is where we are. By the way, Yordis and R Dubs, please click like. When we get to 10 likes, let's do 5 likes. When we get to 5 likes, we will have the bronze medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. New Year says no. Well, wow, you are very adamant about not clicking like. And somehow this guy, New Year, by saying no twice, is the number one person. Do you see the number one crown next to New Year's name? So I don't know how that happened. So, guys, what we're going to be talking about today is Emily is a college student. She's a junior, I believe, now. Is that right? Oh,
Oh.
oh, so you're between sophomore and junior year.
Yeah, right in between. So end of the summer means the end of my senior year, and so just starting the junior year.
So far, has it been a stressful experience, a fun experience, both exciting, interesting, educational?
All of the above, I would say. Definitely warm emotions. Campus, for me at least, is really large, so there's so many groups of people that I can interact with. So I really do think that it depends on the day that I'm feeling up or down, where I'm gonna be on campus and kind of how my day's gonna go.
Will be the end of your educational career for the time being, or are you going to go on to get a master's and do something as well?
I think we never stop learning, no matter whether I'm in school or out of school. I'm always looking for like something new or new skill to add on. I the commenters really getting me because still
For 10 seconds. We'll see if that uh, controls his Tourette syndrome. uh, so you're gonna graduate college and get a job and then kind of see where things go from there.
would help me masters and like keep developing my skills within my career would be ideal. So yeah, we'll see. So my major is in computer but I'm in the class of liberal arts, not in the class of engineering, so I'm a lot less connected to the hardware, software. I'm interested in like app design and creation, like what we're working on at Breakdiving with the mobile app, and then also our website as well, and just creating pretty things I think, that also have a lot of impact.
Story about how you decided that you want to get into web development. What was the defining event in your life?
I feel like it's always been this battle of I want to do something where I'm good at math, I'm pushing myself. I actually the other day found like this old Santa letter that I had written in one of my art books, and it was so funny because I was like, I want everything on pages 8 and 9, and it was like a full set of artist supplies. So I think inside I've always really wanted to explore my creative part. Um, but then also like with technology, uprising, I definitely think that there are so many new ways for me to like merge those two.
Your interest in web development is mostly on the front end design side of things. You want to be the art. You want to use technology to create art that people use.
Now like definitely I've lived the transition from like static websites to crazy like and websites with animations inside of them, and then also that are
So you got cut off for the last part. What was the last part?
I feel like our era of technology has definitely shifted in terms of like web development and what we're able to do with websites. So I think that that is really inspiring in the way that I'll be able to have real impact on the user.
CEAXC says hi. Zenaristi wants us to kiss the camera. Uh, I'll kiss the camera. I don't care. You want to kiss? You want to kiss the camera, Emily? Is that to make Zenaristity very happy? If you write that comment one more time, you're timed out for another minute. So don't you dare kiss the camera for a ditty edit one more time. So this is your one warning. This is your last and final warning. JP says she is so beautiful. Yeah, she's a good looking chick. She's not bad looking. We're fortunate to have her as our co-host here on Breakdiving. And do we have? No, okay, Zen is being a good boy and is not asking us to kiss the camera for a ditty edit. Uh, what was that? I hope we get a subscriber from that. Guys, we're reminding all of you, if any of you want to help us being our company Breakdiving, we're not for profit, and we're 700 hours away from getting this channel monetized, and we've lost out many times on getting $5, $10, $20 from people who want to super chat. Unfortunately, the watch time from you watching this live does not count. If you could please, at the end of the live, just go to our channel, pick a video and just watch it. When you're taking a shower, just turn it on. Maybe before you go to bed, turn it on. When you're doing your homework, just turn it on. You can even turn the volume down, doesn't matter. But we need 740 more watch hours in the next 2.5 months, or the entire what was it, like 9.5 months that I've been spending getting to 2,260 watch hours will have been just a total waste. But they changed the algorithm, and you guys can help us a lot by watching our videos and giving us watch time. How do you feel the talking to your friends, and I'm sure you have some friends who are seniors who are graduating or just graduated. How is the job market for people for entry level jobs right out of college? Is it horrible? Is it decent? Is it really good? How would you describe it?
Put in like throughout your 4 years. I will say in terms of like maybe 4 years ago, if someone else were to like talk about the job market now, they would say it's absolutely horrendous and oversaturated because I think that 4 years ago, oh, you kind of froze on me. Yeah, there we go. But I was just saying that 4 years ago, I think that you needed experience, but an entry level position, you were still able to like learn on the job and not really be expected to know all the skills. I definitely think that in that sense, the world has changed. And like since COVID, the computer science industry has gotten very oversaturated. So there's a lot more expectation in terms of skills and experience, really, even just for an entry level position. But I do think that it's nothing unfeasible and that all of it is very manageable if just given the right timeline.
For jobs, is it just Indeed? Or are there other websites that are have become popular?
Networking, networking is huge. Really the biggest way to get a job I think now is knowing someone from the inside and getting that recommendation. So just company and then um, starting a specific journey to that path. Like for right now, I'm looking at internships for my junior summer that would possibly lead me to a job in my senior summer, like right after graduation. And that path I found is really common amongst my degree and honestly essential to getting a full time
So your
position.
hope is that you would get an internship in front end design next summer, and then that and hoping that that
Yeah.
would lead to an actual job offer from that company.
Yeah, that would be the ideal, and even then, just maybe getting the experience from, like, a really nice company, would be ideal so that I can apply to other positions as well.
For am I right?
1 out of 24 people actually get offered a position after. So you have to yeah, you have to get through the internship process, which requires a technical interview as well. So in that in itself is also very competitive. Um
Hmm. That's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to think if back when I was in college. I mean, the internet was kind of just launching back then. Hotmail just came out. Cell phones had just come out when I graduated college, and there were text messages, but it was only on one of those brick phones, and it was like number one was ABC, number two was DEF, and you had to press it, and so you'd think I'm trying to think if it's. I kind of feel like the job market today is probably more competitive than it was 25 years ago because everyone is it's so easy to get education now and get experience just by working on your own with Khan Academy, looking at online tutorials, YouTube, and something. People are expecting that you're coming in knowing something. And now we've got AI, where AI can design an entire front end website for you. You can just put that in and say design, boom, 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 and it gives you the entire CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. And whereas even just like Well, I guess like 2 years ago, before AI came out, you were able to go onto websites and find pre-coded templates, and then
Yeah.
you could pay $5 and download that Bootstrap template, and it had the CSS. But now you don't even need a template. You can just tell ChatGPT or Grok or Microsoft Copilot, just tell them what you want this website to look like, and it'll do a frighteningly decent job to get you a template to. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's frightening to me to think that maybe in a year from now, I mean, how do you feel? How do you feel AI and is going to impact your role as a front end developer and your job prospects 2 years from now, essentially? Because you've got 2 years. A lot is going to change with AI in 2 years.
I think that's a growing concern amongst like students also studying computer science. And actually I recently watched a TED talk on this very topic and the way that like AI is going to be impacting software engineering. And I found that it definitely won't be replacing the position, and I think that that's like a big concern. Because ultimately like AI is not fully reliable right now. We're in the growing stages of its development. So they still need engineers behind AI to make it better and to actually use it properly. Because I will say that knowing what's underneath the hood in terms of how AI is generating something is also super important for getting something that is what you actually want. Like prompt generators will be a new career. So the same way that it's taking away positions and we're offloading things to AI, it's also creating opportunity for new positions. And just learning a prompt generator. Yeah. I'm sure our position prompt generator, prompt writer, one of the two. Um, but yeah, I think that it's a concern, but also just knowing how to use AI and keeping up with the tools that are being created is essential and just not falling behind.
Obviously, AI is being coded in a language. Is Grok different from ChatGPT, from DeepSeek in China, from Perplexity? Are they? Does it matter? Are there particular languages that are conducive to creating AI? I know you may not know the answer to this, but I certainly don't. But I'm curious about the. Obviously, these are being coded by people. Someone created ChatGPT.
Like English language. And AI really is just advanced applied statistics at its core. So truly the behind like creating AI models and training them are mathematicians, and that's Python and then maybe like MATLAB. Very math heavy languages is where you would be doing AI creation.
I saw this movie called Parallel on Amazon Prime the other day, and I just wanted to. Sometimes when you have sci-fi movies, you'll go online and search to say, "Can you like parallel ending explained?" Parallel movie ending explained, and there'd be all these blogs that people would write to write these explanations, and I decided to ask ChatGPT if it would do that for me. Or was it ChatGPT or was it Copilot? I don't know. It was one of the two, but it actually made up an ending to this movie that did not exist. And I said, that is not the ending. The ending happens at the gas station. And it said, you are absolutely right. I will stop making up endings. I only stuff. And then it would say, what happened in the ending is John and Mary and Frank, blah, blah, blah. And I said, there is no John and Mary and Frank. It was Devin and like Heather or whatever. You're right. Again, I am sorry that I am making up character names. And it reminded me that none of us should ask ChatGPT for an answer without verifying that through multiple other sources. Hi, Blue Dozer. Welcome to the live stream. We say hello back to you. We're talking about AI and just how it's affecting our lives and also affecting the job market and the job application process and potentially restructuring which jobs may or may not be available over the next few years. And I know for me as an attorney, one of my specialties has been contract law, and ChatGPT does a very good job of, if you upload a contract, of analyzing exactly what it means. And if you're a good prompt writer and you can put a good prompt in there, it can draft a pretty decent draft. It still misses like 5%. So I still think humans are required. I would never advise anybody, even myself. I would not, I'm a lawyer. I'm not going to just trust ChatGPT or Grok or something to write a contract, but it could write a draft, and then I could go in there and then go in and add the additional specificities that I feel like add the human touch to it. That so far, the thing in though is, Emily, is Blue Dozer goes, okay, hi, who's the woman? What about who's the? No one cares about me. No one cares about me. I will answer the question for others. My name is Monroe Mann. I'm the founder of Breakdiving. We're a global not-for-profit community. You can join us at breakdiving.io. Download our mobile app on the App Store or the Play Store. My co-host today is Emily Appel. She is a student at University of Florida. Am I correct? University of
Yes,
Florida.
yes, you got it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's also a volunteer at breakdiving and one of our members. So we're just trying to develop the YouTube channel, get more people to subscribe and join. One thing I did notice though, Emily, is even though maybe the study halls that I would do overnight for 8 or 9 hours, even though they didn't maybe add watch time right now, there's always 1 to 3 new subscribers every morning when I wake up. So maybe it's worth doing those study hall live streams anyway. But we've got to figure out how to get. We need to get enough videos, and they need to be watched 740 hours in the next 2.5 months. I've noticed we're still going up every single day. It's going up by about 4 hours, but going up by 4 hours is not enough. I think we need about 10 hours per day. If
Yeah.
I think, like, to do the math. Let me just do that. 740 divided by, let's just say 3 months. That's 246 per month divided by, so 8.2 hours of watch time per day on average. So we got to start putting out some good content that people are gonna find and watch. So anyway, Blue Dozer, that's who the woman
Yeah.
is. I don't like some people ask these comments as if they're in some like Game of Thrones movie or like, who's the woman? And I imagine somebody with a big mug of beer or something and a big, who's the woman? And Blue Dozer said okay. And
I guess curiosity satiated.
yeah, curiosity says, he's like, okay, he answered me. Did I give a good
um,
answer to who's the woman? No, I'm asking you, Emily.
um, I think so. Yeah. No, I feel very well introduced.
Very cool. You know what?
I was gonna mention
Yes,
for
mention
the
away.
study hall for the study hall videos. I think maybe a good idea would be you could always 2 second, 3 second clip of a cute little animation that you could put. I don't know if you've seen like lo-fi study beats. They tend to have like a girl and a cat studying away.
Yeah, like I, I,
You could
I think
probably
that's why I think the live stream keeps getting cut off, maybe in the middle of the night, because
yeah,
I should, yeah, because the background is not moving, and maybe they want
yeah.
a background that's moving. I don't know how I would do that though, because I can't, unless I use specific live stream software, because otherwise I can't
Mhm.
upload. I'm just using the phone. Uh, I can't upload any additional video. The fact that we're not getting watch time anymore from That's an interesting. You brought up an area. I used to always use the phone to do the live streams because the live streams would bring in random viewers, just like we're getting here. But because apparently, if you use like an app like Streamlabs or Streamyards or something like that, you can have lots of different special effects, and maybe you can upload some of those videos that you're talking about, something like that. But you're not going to get the traffic. But if we're not going to get the watch time anyway, I don't know. Now it's basically I'm back to where it was before live streaming started, trying to be creative and see how the heck you're going to create a video that people live streams are more entertaining and people like watching it live. And it's like people will watch this afterwards. But I imagine, well, maybe I don't know, maybe more people will watch it afterwards. What I don't get though is why on my channel now I have 6,000 no, 5,600 subscribers on there. I don't know why suddenly I'm getting like 1,000 views per live stream for an hour, getting like 10 to 20 new subscribers, and this is new in the last 2 weeks because I don't understand why they're sending so many new people to my channel, but here, look, we've only got one, two, three. It's confusing to me. Like it seems like the algorithm is different depending on whose channel you're on. Um, um, hmm. Well, the other topic that I put on here was college, design, and pursuing your dreams. What would you say your biggest dreams are in life? If you're looking back, you're 100 years old, and you think, "Wow, I made these two, three, or four or five things happen." How what would that look like?
To dream big, then I think that like my dreams are still growing as kind of I grow. I really wanted something that makes a long term impact. I think that when I was doing my like community organization in high school with like the ballet, I definitely felt the rewards from that experience. So I would any sort of organization or even found an organization with the long term benefits and truly being the bridge for funding to organizations that are trying to help. So I would love to work on a design team or create
You want to work for them, or
one of the either or. I think. Oh, hello. Kind of frozen. Hello. Okay.
hey, are you there?
Yeah. Are you back?
Yeah, I think there's an internet outage, and so I went onto my actual phone with a cellular connection. Oh, I just downloaded this new app called uh, BitMesh, and
Oh,
it's
interesting.
created by Jack Dorsey, who created Twitter, and it's a chat messaging app that uses Bluetooth, and it jumps from Bluetooth device to Bluetooth device to get the message to the other things. So, like I tested it with my mom, and we have apartments that are on either ends of the apartment building. It doesn't connect using
Mhm.
cell phone. It doesn't connect using Wi-Fi. It connects using the Bluetooth setting on each of your phones. And so supposedly, like if the internet goes out, if the cell phone signal tower doesn't work out, as long as you have battery power, you can still communicate with each other over up to like 2,000 feet. And what I'm curious about is I want to see if it I don't think it works long distance. I'm curious, if you joined, would you be able to send a message to me down here in Miami Beach using various Bluetooth connections, or is it must does it have to be like within 1,000 feet? I haven't gone that far, but it's a pretty interesting. It's a cool app that I think you should take a look at as someone in the world of development and computers and interesting. And you can be one of the first users. It only came out 3 days ago, I think. So, what were we talking about before we got? You were talking about. Oh, I said, do you only want to work for a company, or would you like to start your own one of these days?
think I would like to start one of my own, but I'm not sure that it would be something like instrumental. I don't have an idea yet. Like to know that it was my own idea and creation that is now having a real impact.
Very cool. Would it be for
I think
profit or not for profit?
um whatever is best. I know that whatever would be able to reach the most people, I think is kind of my goal. I wouldn't want to charge my users, but maybe every nonprofit needs funds. Every nonprofit needs money at some point. So maybe ads for monetization would help just fund the mission overall. And I don't know, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
About at some point maybe changing the policy about ads. The thing that I don't like about a lot of the ads on Facebook and what is that they're so uber personalized because they're using your personal data to target you. I don't think I like that, but I feel like general advertising or general sponsoring, I think might be appropriate. Like if a company wanted to give us $100,000 and then we put an ad saying sponsored break diving sponsored in 2025 by this company or something like that. That's still technically advertising, but it's not as intrusive. I feel
Yeah, I would say so.
um, if you had to pick
It is
right now what type of company to start, what would you do? If I said I'll give you all the money that you need to start the business, what would you do?
um just to create any company. I think an idea I had not so long ago was to create like a wall art company, similar to ways that you would just do like digital collages. Um, but I wanted to do that like in an app for college students because I know that like I personally struggled with like room decor and like setting up my own like art and aesthetic in my room. So I think that having an app that kind of lays stuff out for you and then gives you the right sizing would be great.
And stuff like that, where you can show the blank wall or the blank apart the room, and it would tell you, hey, I think a this color painting would look good on the wall, something like this. You can buy this on Walmart. This type of chair would look perfect. Is something like that?
Sometimes you have a piece that you like, but the sizing isn't right. So then having an algorithm to like determine the perfect placement for that piece would be great because I know that right now a lot of
Mirror slash art, and it literally I have no place for it. It's just sitting on this massage table right there. It's not in the best place at all. You're saying that it would be able I would be able to kind of give the lay of the land of my apartment and would say, hey, you should mount this on this wall.
like a art piece on a wall, multiple pieces. So then just creating that collage with the perfect layouts.
About life and you want some advice from me and Emily, we'd be happy to share with you and give you some guidance. You're also welcome to just be a voyeur, be a creepy voyeur, and just watch. And what do your parents do, if you don't mind me asking? What fields are they in? Aha, interesting. Who do you think enjoys his or her job more? Or do they both like what they do? Oh, I want to go back to something before. Did you say it's better to dream small? Oh, I said I misheard. I said, did she really say that? I said maybe that's a new thing. That I mean, you were kind of a different generation. Maybe my generation was dream big, and your generation is dream small. No, okay. So you know what's so funny? Do you know the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Have you ever heard of that? So I've always heard about it, and I used on Hulu. Apparently, it's free for people who are on Hulu. And so I just started watching it, and I noticed that there was the guy Rob, what the heck is his name? McCallany. I don't remember how to say his last name. Who's on the show Mythic Quest? And in Mythic Quest, he's about my age, in his mid 40s, I guess. And I looked at this show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was like a kid. He was like 20s or what? I was like, is that the? I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. I go, oh my gosh, this was supposed to be how he got his start. And so I did some research and found like, can you tell me the story about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? And I found out that he and some other like three guys created it back in like 2003 when they were relatively young, around your age, and just created a simple trailer. They got it through some friends to some networks. The networks loved it, and boom, this became the longest, or one of the longest, or one of the top three longest running sitcoms in American history. And I it's a fascinating story about that. But why I'm mentioning it is, and I'm talking about dreams and dreaming big and patience, persistence. When I was at the same around 2003, I was doing the exact same thing with my band, and we created this trailer called Running for Famous, reality show, and we got pretty far. We got to the producers of some TV shows on A&E and Trading Places, that they were interested in it, and we like, really thought that, oh my gosh, this was going to take off, and we were going to get this reality show about me and my band. And I just think like, oh my gosh, I was just like Rob McElhenney and these other guys, except the difference is theirs took off. It's the exact same story. We created it out of nothing. We were hustling. We were young, and we had some connections. We used them. We hustled. We pitched it, and it made me angry in some way. I'm okay now, but it made me angry. It's like it shows you how fickle the world is. That and I was talking. I have these Chat GPT conversations. I'm sure maybe you do too. And I just thought, like, what is up with this? Why did they succeed in 2003 when instead, I got deployed to Iraq with the army, which I'm very happy to have done, and I'm happy to have served my country and this and that. But and then ChatGPT was like, Monroe, but you've had such an interesting life in so many other ways, and you've done things that Rob McElhenney will never get to be able to do, and say that he's a war veteran, this and that. I'm like, okay, I get it, but and here I am in 1999. I came up with the idea for breakdiving, and it's 2025, and it's starting to get some legs, but it is still not like Facebook was started when he was in college, and it took off within a year, and 2 years later he was a billionaire. And so like why am I on this little, what's the moral of the story, or the purpose of it is success is very fickle. And you can have all of the right pieces and all of the right persistence, and there is a chance that you may still never succeed at the level that you hope for. But why am I still pursuing it? And this is like, we're break divers, no rules, no excuses, no regrets. It would be very easy for me to get very depressed and think, what's the point of keeping, why should I keep going? It's already been 25 years of me trying harder than pretty much 99% of the human population to make a big name of himself. Why don't I give up? Because tomorrow could be the day. And it's diluted. Tomorrow could also be another day where things don't take off. But I guess this is turning into a motivational speech for anybody watching, and including you. Nothing happened, or not nothing, because things worked out fairly easily for Rob and his folks and Charlie. And I'm sure they had their struggles, but it's wasn't 25 years of trying to make something pop. And I think so many of us, why am I mentioning this? Because we talked about dreaming big. You got to dream big, but so many of us think that it's going to happen within a week or a month or a year. And the truth is, for 99% of us, it doesn't happen even in a year or even in 5 years. It may take, if you've got a big dream, you have got to somehow find the fortitude to keep going. Even when everyone else has quit and everyone's told you you're an idiot, why don't you quit? And I hope one day that I can give this rather than one person watching on YouTube. I'm hoping that I've become, or two people, that breakdiving becomes such a huge success that my words actually, I am a really good motivational person for telling people not to give up. I am the king of not giving up. I am the king of don't let the world beat you down. If you've got a dream, keep going. But I want to become the poster child for the person who says not giving up is not just something that you should try to achieve. Like it's a worthy thing in and of itself to keep going. But I want to say, guys, and look what happened. Breakdiving became a global success story. I want any one of you watching to not give up. And don't expect that your brilliant idea is going to take off. You're probably going to be in the 99% of people where it doesn't take off immediately. I would like you to be a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia story. But I think I think we're, you know what? There's two sides to it. There are two types of rare people. There's the Rob McCallahennys and the Charlies who created that show. They are in the 1% of people who come up with an idea, they pursue it, and it takes off like a rocket just on the get-go. And oh my gosh, their life has changed forever. There's also the other person who is me, the other 1% who keeps pushing forward even though everything says give up. Everything says, dude, it would be so much easier if you just got a regular job. I am telling you that your life is going to be somewhere in the middle, and I would err on the side of being me. Don't give up, because maybe tomorrow is the day. And Emily knows that we applied to 8 grants so far for breakdiving, and we just got a membership with Instrumental. We're going to be applying to 10, 20, 30 more grants over the next few weeks. And guess what? One of these days over these next 6 months, maybe I'm going to get an email saying, congratulations, we have decided to give you a grant for 20,000, for 50, for 100. Maybe tomorrow is the day when someone famous stumbles upon our mobile app on the App Store and then starts posting about it. You haven't failed until until you've given up. And that's, I guess, the motivational message today is don't give up. Emily, what are your thoughts on what I've been chatting about?
That to have. I think it's so easy to get berated by all the things in the world. But it is a really powerful message to never give up. And also, I think that you don't really ever fail until you stop trying, and that's kind of something I hold myself accountable to as well.
It's have you any experiences in your life where you have had to show incredible fortitude and determination and patience and persistence and strength to keep going, even though you had every reason to quit. And nobody would say, why did you quit? They would say, I totally get it. But you decided to keep going. Like, is there something like that in your life where you felt that and you said, I'm going to keep going regardless?
Yeah, I do. I think that the I would say just out of that when I was doing I think that it really built a lot of discipline in myself because at the end of the day, it is a skill and it takes a lot of time to ever get it perfect or get something perfect. So I really do believe in progress,
Did
not
you ever want to
perfection.
quit dance because it got too hard or you got injured?
The entire first year of dance, actually, I would cry my way to class and I did not want to go because everyone was so much better than me. And it was very exhausting. I feel like I was always put in the back and I was like, okay, just follow along. But I obviously couldn't follow along as well as I wanted to. But my dance teacher, I think, was a really like shining voice for me and kept me persistent as well. And I think that I learned a lot through that experience in terms of self discipline and being able to push myself further than what I expect.
Mm, that's great. That's a great story. I just got chills actually. You know, you get chicken skin and your hair stands up. Like I just hearing this story, like I can imagine crying and getting put in the back and just feeling like you don't belong and just saying,
Yeah.
it would be so easy for you to have just said, I'm not going back. I'm not going to put myself through that again. But instead you pushed forward. And now from what I know, you've become quite an accomplished dancer, and you are even someone who creates dance recitals. Am I right? From being that person who was crying to go to class to someone who's actually creating dance recitals and inspiring other people to dance.
I did, and I did my first solo kind of like that last year of dance as well, and it was a really inspiring moment to me. And yeah, it's something that I hope to carry on kind of throughout my coding journey as well now that I'm deciding to be a developer. It's very easy to get imposter syndrome with the high that they expect, but ultimately,
When you
like I said, that mindset of you never really fail until you stop trying.
when you
And I
say
think that that's important.
there is so much competition out there for what in particular, for everything.
Well, just for um, and being able to get the experience that I want. There's high
You
competition
know, so
for it.
an interesting thing about I think that the secret to success today is
Mhm.
twofold because of AI. Two, if you use AI, well, let me. I'll save the second. I'll save that one for a second because it's kind of more funny, but it's true. First thing is, I've done two
Mhm.
TEDx talks, one at NYU and one at Jefferson University. And I tried multiple times over the years to get booked at TEDx's, but I only applied to a couple. But then I tried a new
Mhm.
tactic and said, let me just apply to as many as I can until I get booked. And I applied to 108 TEDx events until I got the first invitation. And so that's the first lesson. I think in this day and age, because there's so much competition, you just need to go on more quote unquote auditions. You need to send out more
Yeah.
resumes. You need to apply to more jobs. You need to go on more interviews. Or in our case with breakdiving, we need to apply to more grants than the competition. And that's why I really believe if we really hustle these next 2 weeks and apply to 30, 40, 50 grants, I believe we will get at least one. And that was my problem when I applied to that tech grant in 2019. And then I applied again in 2020. It was the only one that I had applied to. And it was the same
Yeah.
tactic that I used to apply to TEDx's 10 years ago that didn't work. You can't apply to one TEDx and hope to magically have chosen the one that is going to make, and the same thing, you can't apply to one job and hope that you're going to get it. Apply to a million. But the other, so I get that's the first, I think, the key to success in this modern age, because there's so much competition. You have just got to saturate the market with so much of you that someone says, you're the one. We finally have a good match. But number two is, if you use AI to write your resume or to write your cover letters, you have got to edit it like crazy to make sure it doesn't sound like AI and it sounds like your own voice. Because I get too many people who apply for volunteer positions or who want me to hire them on Upwork for coding positions or whatnot. And it is so clear that they put zero effort into it. They just put in a prompt and AI did the work. And it's like, do you really want someone like that working for you, who literally can't even write a cover letter and make it sound like a human?
Um, you being the seed there, AI is a tool. It's not meant for you to just copy paste. It's definitely meant for you to use it already. You're already thought out response.
You know what it is? I've noticed I'm getting these cover letters from mostly from people who don't speak English as their first language. And they think that if they use AI, it's going to make them sound more professional because the English is more fluent. But I'm learning, if there's
Mhm.
zero personality in the cover letter, it's worse than, I would rather have people write to me with terrible grammar and bad spelling, but I can tell that it's a real person who really wants the position, than writing with AI. I think AI is
Yeah.
making people very lazy, and so when you're applying to your internships, Emily, and your jobs, remember, apply to lots of positions and don't use AI to do all your work. Apps, hours of watch time from you and I sharing our expertise and experiences. Emily, what are your final words to share with anyone who's watching either now or on a replay?
That everyone just takes from this the greater point and message of never stop trying, and make sure you oversaturate yourself in this oversaturated market with applications in terms of continuing to push yourself to continue breaking new experiences.
Beautifully said. And Blue Dozer says, "Are you bald?" I'm not bald. I've got maybe a larger forehead than I used to have when I was younger, but I still have hair. For now, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you for Blue Dozer for watching us for almost the entire live stream. It was great to have you here. And it was great to have Emily as our special guest. As a reminder, please click like, please subscribe to our channel, please turn on notifications. We are 740 hours away from getting this channel monetized. If you could please just watch any of our videos for an hour, for 2 hours, for 5 hours. If you could ideally watch an hour a day or 5 hours a day, that would be even better. And you can download our mobile app on the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store. You can also join our community directly at our website, breakdiving.io. That's spelled BREAKDIVING.io. Before we go, Emily, can I share one public speaking tip with you publicly that I think will help everyone, but I think will help you as well? Stop saying the word and Uh, people don't realize when they're saying it, but psychologically, it gives off a impression of someone who doesn't is not an expert in what he or she's talking about. And you are an expert in everything you're talking about. And I want to make sure on interviews or live streams or presentations at school or wherever that if you don't say you will outperform more than half of the people who are competing with you, because they're not going to get that lesson and they're going to be saying the entire time. So, and so moving forward on the next live streams we do it, I'm going to call you out on it. Every time you say, I'll go, But here's an exercise you or anyone else can do. Any filler words, like, whatever. So watch television interview shows, any of those late night TV shows or news shows. Often the better the guest, usually on late night talk shows, when it's the entertainment guests, the entertainment guests will say and like and but the hosts themselves will never say it. I want you to just get in the habit of hearing your friends, your family, people. It'll eventually start to annoy you like nothing else will. It took me a lot of patience to not say anything for 55 minutes. But but it wasn't terrible. But every time it
Yeah.
was like, oh, I don't want her to say that. I don't want Emily to say that because she's better than that. So for any of you watching, do the same thing. Start to train yourself to listen to other people. Then you'll start to be able to hear yourself, and you'll be able to stop yourself when you say, "Oh, I just said it. I just said like, oh gosh, I just said and then eventually after a while it'll annoy you so much that you will just stop. And people say, well, what am I supposed to say in place of that? Nothing. Just smile, look pretty, and wait until you figure out what word it is that you want to say. So thank you for
Thank
accepting my
you. Yeah,
instruction,
no.
and hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're enjoying your last day of July. It's July 31st, at least here. I guess technically in Asia, it's already August 1st. So for those of you in the eastern, what would we say that the Asian part of the world, I guess, or the no, but Australia is also there too, or Asia, Oceania. Good morning to you. To the rest of you, have a wonderful end of July. Emily, great pleasure, and until next week. Bye, everybody.